Origin is done. 6 weeks to go. The race for the finals is truly on. Welcome to The Game Plan. I'm Paul Grzadka, joined by Anthony Seibold. Seibs, there's some top-tier teams between 7 and 11. Not all will make the top 8 this year. Who are the key players for each of these teams that you think can make the difference in their club playing finals footy this year?
Well, great race to finish the season with 6 games to go. We're going to start with Dylan Brown of the Parramatta Eels, playing on the left-hand side of the field for the Parramatta Eels. He's a threat to the defensive line when he takes the line on. I want to show you some examples. So here's Dylan out here on the left-hand side, as I say. That's where he positions himself, and he's got a great combination with Mitchell Moses and Clint Gutherson when Parramatta are at the top of their game. But one thing he does very well is take the line on. So anytime he sees a defender come off the line sideways, he likes to come back at inside shoulder. So this is an example there on Jerome Hughes earlier this year in their win against the Melbourne Storm team. Puts Gutherson near the post there for a 4-pointer, which they converted to 6. Now this is the one that I want to point out. He's got great vision when he sees a defender come off the line sideways. So I want to show you Moses Ambai. Moses Ambai was playing as a hooker here for the Dragons in this occasion. You'll see Moses here. So his first movements are off the line sideways, and that's all that Dylan Brown looks for. Any movement off the line sideways, he comes back at inside shoulder. So there you see Moses Ambai take a couple of steps sideways, and that's all Dylan Brown needs. So when he takes the line on for Parramatta, he's very, very dangerous, and he can make line breaks. The other area of his game that has improved in season 2022 is his execution or his decision-making of his pass. So this is where all 3 ball players in Mitchell Moses, Clint Gutherson and Dylan Brown are all on the same side of the field. So you can see there's Mitchell Moses. We go to Dylan Brown in this instance, and you'll see Clint Gutherson coming to the shot just out the back of shape. So here's King Gutho there, and what they're looking at doing is having a lead runner on the inside shoulder of Zach Lomax, who's the second last defender for the St George Illawarra Dragons. Now, Dylan Brown's got a decision to make. He knows that Ravalawa is going to come in, put some pressure on through jam defence on Clint Gutherson. What he does exceptionally well, he passes the ball all the way over the top. It's a loop-type pass to the left-hand side winger for the Parramatta Eels, and he puts him in the corner. So his running game is a threat, but his decision-making around his passing game has improved in 2022. So expect Dylan Brown to feature prominently in the run into the finals.
Great stuff. Let's go on to the teams that are tied on 20 points. It is the Roosters, who snuck back into the top 8 thanks to their captain and talisman, James Tedesco. What makes him such a special player?
Well, he's a special player on both sides of the ball because of his work rate. And I want to show you some examples to start with of his work rate off the ball in attack. So this is from last Friday's game against the Newcastle Knights. So there's James Tedesco. So you can clearly see him, got the ball in his hands there. He breaks a tackle. He finds a pass here in a moment. But just have a look what he does. He keeps moving. He keeps moving. He keeps moving. The ball hits the floor. Now, where is he? Here he is, James Tedesco. Looks like nothing's doing there, but he kept moving just in case. You'll see him to come into the picture here on the right-hand side for the Roosters. So it becomes a 2v1 situation, and he executes the play, putting Joseph Sawali over in the corner there for the Sydney Roosters team. So good execution there on Phoenix Crossland. But James Tedesco kept moving. Now, a lot of fullbacks would have given up on the play. He kept moving just in case, as I say, and he executes the try assist there for Joseph Sawali. This time, you'll see him out the back of shape. So there's Keary to Sam Walker. So all 3 ball players on the same side of the field. Again, here's James Tedesco. What they're trying to do is create a 3v2 situation at the back of shape. So there's Tedesco, 1, 2, 3 there for the Roosters, up against the last 2 defenders there for the Newcastle Knights team. Tedesco takes the line on himself. There's his show and go because he sees Heimel Hunt turn in. But comes to the other side, and a fantastic offload to Daniel Tupou to put him in the corner. So not only what he does on the ball, but what impresses me about Tedesco is what he does off the ball.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. That's why he's New South Wales captain. Let's go to the team that his side plays on Thursday in Manly, and the opposing Origin skipper in DCE, who holds the keys for the Seagulls.
Yeah, well, CherryEvans, one of the things that we love about him is his vision with his kicking game. Look, he can kick the ball long, but he's got fantastic vision. And if we go back to have a look at an earlier game against the Melbourne Storm, when the Manly Seagulls put over 30 points on the Storm on this particular occasion. This is early in the tackle count. So the player I want to point out is this defender here for the Melbourne Storm. He's the last defender there. He's the winger for the Melbourne Storm. So Ryan Papenhuyzen's playing at this particular game. You'll see that Papenhuyzen's got all this field to cover here because the winger was up on the end of the line for the Melbourne Storm side. So early tackle kick by Daly CherryEvans, executed exceptionally well. There's a 40-20, all of a sudden they're on the attack. The other thing is this. What he does very well is he gives opportunities for Jason Saab to go one-on-one into a contest with an opposition player. And what he looks for Saab to do is what we call a J line. Okay, comes back in on a J line, trying to isolate that last defender for opposition teams. In this occasion, it's the Rabbitohs. So again, good execution there by Daly CherryEvans. Saab gets into the contest. It's a one-on-one contest. Comes out the other side for a 4-pointer. So long kicking game, crossfield kicking game, exceptional. The other kick I wanted to show, which DCE does exceptionally well, he identifies when there's space in the backfield. Now, the player we point out here is Kurt Mann. Kurt Mann was playing fullback for the Newcastle Knights side in this particular evening, and Daly CherryEvans can see that Kurt Mann is in the front line there, so there's all this space in behind. So there you can see, again, I point out Kurt Mann, he's a long way behind the ball there. CherryEvans sees this, puts the grubber kick through for Morgan Harper, who goes through and scores a 4-pointer. So great long kicking game vision, good short kicking game vision, and the crossfield kick for Jason Saab and the wingers for the Manly team. Daly CherryEvans does it all from a kicking perspective.
Yeah, great player. And let's talk about the Raiders now. They've really climbed the ladder during the Origin period. They're poised to strike in the finals. It's one man, Joseph Tapine, who's really caught your eye.
Yeah, Tapine's caught my eye. I think he's been the most consistent player for the Canberra Raiders in 2022. He's ranked #1 in the competition for post-meters contact. So for the viewers at home, that means he's hard to handle. He's very hard to tackle. And I've got a couple of examples. This is against the Roosters, who are a good defensive side, the Roosters. And you'll see him go into the line. Now, what he does is he keeps his legs moving and he captures 3 defenders there. So you can see in this particular tackle, there's 3 Roosters defenders in the tackle, not far from their line, so about 15 metres out. So you see the number 9 there, Hutchinson. He can't get back to his position in the line. So there's a defender short there for the Roosters team. So he gets quick play the balls, and Zach Wolford, who's come to the season late, he's made a real impact, jumping off the back of Tapine and Josh Papali'i in particular to cause teams havoc. So again, because Tapine captured that 3rd defender there in Hutchinson, Wolford's able to come out and put Adam Elliott underneath the sticks for a 4-pointer, which they turned into 6. This is another example on Joseph Tapine, how hard he is to handle. So there he is, breaks a tackle there for the Bulldogs, pushes through Luke Thompson, again, gets to the floor, and he's playing the ball and has 2 defenders captured there before they're actually set. So he creates momentum for that Canberra Raiders team. And as I said, Starling and in particular Wolford, the second half of the year, they've done a good job jumping off the back of that. The last thing I want to show there through Tapine is this. Again, pushes through the line, pumps his legs, keeps it moving, and again, you'll see defenders left on the floor. So again, there's a defender who's left out of the line there for the Roosters team. And as I said, Canberra Raiders play off the back of that from an attacking perspective. Done a really good job this year, Tapine.
Most improved in 2022?
Well, I reckon he's the most improved forward. There's no doubt about that. He's been super consistent. He's always been very good on his best days, but I think one thing he's done for the Raiders is close the gap between his best performances and his not so good performances.
Brilliant stuff. Onto a team currently in 11th, but only 1 win away from joining the top 8. It is the Dragons, and it's the inspirational leader Ben Hunt who's our focus here.
You talk about being inspirational. He's just about being the form player of the whole competition, and all the Dragons' good performances come off the back of his vision, his execution and attack, and he's tough defensively, gets his body in front. But I want to show this. I want to go back a little while to the Magic weekend up at Suncorp Stadium. So this is in the second half, about 5.5 minutes into the second half, and it's an early tackle. It's the second tackle there. You can see the vision. So what it identifies is that the winger for the Gold Coast Titans is not back yet, and Jaden Campbell, who was playing fullback this particular evening, has a whole heap of grass to defend. And, essentially Ben Hunt sees that. So you'll see him here, second tackle. It's a brave kick on second tackle, but he sees that grass or that vacant grass there in the backfield, executes the play well, puts pressure on Jaden Campbell in the backfield for the Titans, and they get a 40-20 off the back of it. So that's just an example of his vision. And Dragons get oxygen off the back of that. This is another example. So this time you can see there's a whole heap of vacant space in the backfield there of the Canberra Raiders. And what Ben Hunt does exceptionally well is he puts teams in uncomfortable positions. So I call this coffin corner. So it's almost that 10 by 10 space in the backfield. So he puts kicks in there. Off the back of that, the kick sprint led by him, enables Dragons to get a repeat, so to almost get a repeat set off the back of their kick sprint. So there's a number of times where you see the Dragons will pick players up, drive them back into the into their own in-goal area, and they get oxygen off the back of that because they get the ball back. So last example from Ben Hunt, he takes the line on as well. So I spoke about Dylan Brown in a previous example of looking at defenders coming off the line sideways. So put your attention to Angus Crichton here. You can see him turned out, and Angus Crichton's first movements are just a little bit sideways there. Ben Hunt sees that. So there he is. Crichton goes sideways, back at inside shoulders, goes through and scores the 4-pointer next to the 6 there for the Dragons. Now, on that particular occasion, Roosters got the result, but Ben Hunt, when the Dragons play well, when the Dragons win games, he's at the forefront of what they do.
Pretty good defender that he beat in Angus Crichton, Ben Hunt. What a great player. All right, brilliant stuff. Thanks so much, Seibs. It's going to be a very important round for all 5 of these teams. If you want to get to any of these games, then go to nrl.com/tickets. If you can't get to the games, you can still watch it on Channel 9, Foxtel, Sky New Zealand or KO.